Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator, and I am here to talk about soul ties. So if you want to learn about soul ties and what does it mean and what are they and how do we even, what do we do with them, then you definitely want to make sure that you stay to watch this video. Now, before we get started, I wanted to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And make sure that you take a moment to share and like this video if you feel that this video is helping you at the end of this video. I also want to take a moment to announce that the Beloved Method classes are opening up on August 26th. I am giving a 22% discount to anyone that sends me an email to hello@thebloominglotushealing.com. If you want to sign up for the Beloved Method class, this is a class where you will learn how to access the Akashic Records and clear energies between you and other people. You will be able to clear energy cords and basically kind of like related to what we're going to be talking about today, which is the soul ties. And so the class is going to be a 6 weeks live class, which is going to start on August 26th all the way to September 30th. And I highly recommend that you sign up for this class if you're interested in clearing at the soul level your relationships with your loved ones or not so loved ones and beyond. So I just kind of wanted to share that with y'all here. And I also wanted to take a moment just to thank everyone who is part of the Cosmic Light Activation Group. This is basically part of the support system that is here, part of this channel. So if you want to support this channel beyond the liking and subscribing and sharing the videos, then I want to invite you to sign up for the Cosmic Light Activation membership. You can sign up at thebloominglotushealing.com and be able to sign up for my email list, and then you'll be able to know when I open the doors next for the Cosmic Light Activation. The benefits that you get from this is that you will get a collective Akashic record clearing for the month, so one time a month, and then we also have a private Telegram channel where I share with you weekly guidance, oracle guidance that is shared specifically for the group via oracle cards. So if you're interested in receiving some support and receiving some healing and guidance, then definitely make sure that you support and come into the group, and I'd love to have you. So okay, so then let's go ahead and get started and talk about this the soul ties. So I just kind of wanted to mention I was kind of just looking out there to see what is out there. What are people talking about when it comes down to soul ties? And I came across this verywellmind.com article, which I will tag on the description below, where it was talking about soul ties and six signs and how to break them. And it was kind of interesting to me because this is kind of going back to the conversation that I started at Spirit Fest in Lakeland on this past Sunday, which was July 16th. I did a speech on let's stop cutting cords and let's start healing them. And so in that conversation that I got started in the speech, I was inviting us to really start shifting our perspective in regards to really seeing ourselves as separate and start seeing ourselves as brothers and sisters in the light, or brothers and sisters in spirit. And so I'm not necessarily going to share everything about this article because some of the things that they share here are not aligned with with what I'm really trying to, or not trying, but what Spirit has shifted me into start sharing here on this channel, and certain truths that are wanting to be birthed into the planet, into our consciousness of the planet, and so that we can start shifting the way that we connect to cords and soul ties with each other, and start shifting from separation language into a more inclusive and oneness type of a language. And so a soul tie is basically a cord that is in relationship between you and another soul. And this cord is going to have an emotional charge that is basically intel right? That gives you information between you and the other person. So there's seven chakras in the body, and within we have actually more in our energetic body, right? That's what I mean by in the body. So when we are looking at our energetic body in general, we have more chakras in our energetic body. However, the main ones are going to be the seven main chakras, which are the ones that we hear about so much, which is the root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So those are the seven chakras that that we operate our energy from, or our main energy is operating or receiving from. And these seven chakras also are interconnected to other parts of our bodies. So we have our spiritual body, our emotional body, our spiritual, emotional, and we also have our mental and our physical body. So all of these are in some shape or form interacting with each other energetically, and they're all communicating with each other. And so it's important for you to know this, because this is what's going to help you understand what the soul ties do, or soul cords, or soul relationship cords do whenever you're interacting with others. So what happens is that when we are basically in interaction with another soul, with another person, we are creating not only more information, right? We're adding more information, more bonds, more karmic information into our Akashic Records in whenever we are interacting with them. But we also have some information from past lives and other lifetimes that are actively giving us feedback as we interact with that soul. So I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you meet someone and you just immediately connect with them in such a way that just feels it just feels like you've known this person forever, even though you're just meeting them. And there's just like this feeling of openness and just incredible connection with that person. That is the soul ties, or the soul cords kind of at play. So that it's that conversation at the emotional level, at the emotional energy emotion, at the emotion that is happening immediately. Like, you don't even have to think about this. This is happening immediate at the subconscious. But there's also the opposite. The opposite is also when we are connecting to someone and it's a negative experience. It's an immediate rejection, an immediate thing. That is basically the emotional information that is coming through the soul connection, right? The soul cords between you and the other person, that is basically giving you that energetic intel through your emotional body to let you know that something is off, right? Energetically. And so I want to invite you to start seeing your interactions with people from that perspective. That is what I teach with the Beloved Method, right? And the reason why I want to invite this conversation into your awareness within yourself, right, is so that we can start becoming more I want to say we can start becoming more let's say responsible for our interactions with the other person, and start recognizing how we are also playing a part in the fact that we want to make sure that we are staying open to interacting with ourselves with these triggers, so that we can see and explore and stay curious about why this is happening. So we can, of course, there could be other things that could be at play, right? It could be that the person reminds you of someone that at the subconscious level is reminding you of someone that maybe you didn't feel comfortable with growing up, or it could be so many other things. And all of these things you will be able to find out. However, when you start exploring and you can't really find a reason or a root on this lifetime that makes sense, that's when things such as the Beloved Method and spiritual response therapy and other therapies that are kind of tapping into the subconscious mind can really help tap into maybe something from a past life that is coming through when you're interacting with that person. So what I want to invite you to do is to really start seeing soul ties as basically cords. So we want to start shifting from the perspective of like, oh, well, this tie, because I feel like the the word tie just gives us the idea that we can untie. But the reality is that we are always interconnected, whether we want to accept it or not. That truth is basically there underneath underneath everything. So as we come into the awareness of oneness, and we start to realize that we are all one piece of the puzzle, then we can start seeing soul ties as more than something that you can break, or you can untie. But we can start seeing them more as cords that carry information. It's almost like this like highway of information between us and the other person. So one of the things that I was talking about at Spirit Fest as well was that we want to start paying attention to how we feel whenever we interact with other people. Notice if you're feeling any energetic intel at any of your energy centers. And what I mean by your energy centers, I mean your chakras, or maybe around that, or maybe paying attention to the thought process that is happening there, so that you can really receive the information that spirit is trying to give you through that interaction with that other person. So again, soul ties are basically the same as a soul connection cord, which I cover that on the Beloved Method. And the soul connection cord is basically a highway of information that connects point A to point B, right? And so whatever information that needed to be connected between you and the other person, that is what is going there. And the ties or cords are actually not just one, but there's many of them, and the main ones are going to be at the energy centers. So that's where we want to explore in which energy center is the issue at, because it could be something related to not being able to speak your truth, because or maybe some disempowerment. So that could be like the solar. It could be related to past sexual abuse, which could be the sacral. It could be something such as not like abandonment, or poverty, which could be the root, and so on, right? Like we can have so many issues, right, that we've experienced. And when we sign up for this planet, right, we do choose to experience the duality of the what's possible, right? So we come here to really experience both. And so our job is to recognize, when we have a connection with another soul, what is the lesson behind this, right? And so you're probably going to hear me say this 1,000 times, and I'll probably repeat this until until the cows come home. And the reason why is because it's the most important aspect that I've been learning in my own path, as I've also been clearing between myself and my husband. And we've been doing a lot of healing work with individually, right? Like he's been doing his own thing and I've been doing my own thing. And then I've also been doing some things for us as a collective, as a couple, and then also as a collective, as a family, as a unit. And so ancestral work as well. And the work is not done. However, our soul ties, right, or our soul connection cords, in order for us to have more peace and connection and clear understanding and clarity with each other, these things need to stay clear. So so it's important for us to recognize whenever we're having maybe a situation with someone that we love, or maybe someone that we don't love as much at the moment, or maybe we have the walls up. Like start noticing, right, why, basically, where is it coming from? Like start asking yourself the question, like, where is this coming from? Why is this happening? Like why, and not like why is this happening to me, but why is this happening? Like what is the lesson here, and what is the root cause of this? And can I just take a moment just to go within myself when I'm calm, and see what is happening within myself, so that I can move forward towards more a more let's say a balanced connection with this soul, with this person. And so I feel that when we look at ourselves and look at each other from the soul level, and we start seeing at each other, looking at each other at the soul level, and seeing each other as as souls that are coming together beyond just the physical, beyond the emotional baggage and all the mindsets and all the programming. When we start seeing ourselves beyond that, then we can really move into an understanding of soul ties being such a blessing for us, because they're allowing us to really heal at a deep level and start shifting the consciousness of this planet forward into a more loving and compassionate space. Even though that's a reality that feels far away from for a lot of people, and may feel like the timeline is not there yet, I promise you that timeline comes in as you continue moving into healing yourself. So beyond looking at which I will share my the link of this article, beyond breaking the soul ties or the soul cord connections, I want to really invite you to really start thinking about, why is this person showing up in your life, and what is the medicine they're leaving behind, so that you can focus on yourself and not so much on the other person, whatever they do or don't do, or left behind or do not left behind, and all that good stuff. So I hope this helps you shift your perspective on soul ties, and to also understand the intention behind this video, which is to really invite you to see these cords between us as wonderful highways of information that help us find out so much about each other through our energy bodies, which is our and our emotional bodies, which is so exciting, right? When we see that, it's just such a wonderful, wonderful world, that the universe that we live in, right? Like, we live in this beautiful universe that is always giving us so much for us to be able to move through our lessons and all the difficulties with care and love. So anyway, so that's all I have for you today. I'm super grateful that you are here all the way back here. I want to invite you to take a moment to really like and subscribe, and to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you can. And again, I want to invite you to go over to the bloominglotushealing.com and sign up for my email list. So if you want to book a session and you would like help in regards to clearing your soul relationships and your soul ties or soul relationship cords with another person, then please do feel free to book a session. I'll be so happy to hold space for you and to see where we can get you into a place beyond the discordance that you may be experiencing now. So moving on now to remind you that if you are interested in learning the Beloved Method and you want to learn how to tap into the Akashic Records to clear soul relationship cords between you and another person, then I want to invite you to sign up for my class by sending an email at hello@thebloominglotushealing.com, and I will be sending to those who send an email a 22% discount code for early bird, people who are signing up for as an early bird. So I want to invite you to sign up. It's a 6 weeks course. It's going to be live and pre-recorded, and we will be live answering questions for you once a week. And then there's going to be a lot of practical. So starting on August 26th, we're meeting on Saturdays, about an hour and a half calls via Zoom, and then you'll have some pre-recorded videos so that you can have that additional support. So you'll be definitely in this beautiful empowered place. And if you're curious, we will be using the pendulum and charts that I specialized that I channel specialized for this. And so I want to invite you to sign up if you're interested, if this calls your heart. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you, and I will see you around. Love you. Namaste.